Exciting, creative, laid back, professional.
The words that come to mind are definitely generous and quality.
Really kind of tenacious in having, a 10-year history in a very particular niche market.
A couple of larrikins who put a camera in front of stuff.
Getting to use a company like Markwell that incorporate drama and theatre and film with an education context is a fantastic way for us to deliver that art form into schools.
This idea of cinematic theatre was one thing, and that created a kind of a revenue stream, but they also were able to quickly adapt their skills to a multiplicity of different kind of environments.
One of the busiest self-funded youth arts companies in Queensland.
And I didn't know anyone who could make this video for us in Brisbane, so I asked my friend Sean Charles if he could make it. He said he was busy working on a show at the moment, but he had just the people who could do it.
For me, they've always been a company that, as a teacher, I can always go to if I'm looking for a text or something different or something new or a new way to get students to engage into a performance.
I think Markwell Presents brings a really unique experience, especially for students, and as a drama educator I think it's a fantastic way for them to explore theatre in a new and innovative way.
These guys are passionate about what they do, and it sort of translates to when you're an actor and you're really working with them. They're passionate about young people.
They have a beautiful family kind of nature, and I guess that's what's so beautiful about them. I haven't worked with them in a few years, but I still feel like I have a big place in the company's heart.
And they came knocking on my door and said, what can we do for you? And we got chatting, and I saw them as a really interesting and ambitious group of people who were really had some key skills that obviously the company could use.
Look, if my recollection serves me correctly, the first time I worked with them was on a project with Sally Mackenzie called Episodes. It's quite a few years ago now. They were very much interested in experimenting with projection in theatre, and so there was a sort of interesting meeting of the ways, if you like, a sort of an old dog of the old analogue system, and the young dogs coming through, if you like. And there's been a number of projects since then, with Sex Cubed, with Subcon Warrior 2 with Zen Zen Zo, and quite a big projection setup was the August Moon. So yeah, our paths have crossed.
I've been working with Markwell Presents for many years, doing a lot of their animation and visual effects for their productions. First experience working with Markwell, that would have been What Simon Said back in 2005. It was a very big, very ambitious project. They wanted to throw a lot of visual effects and animation into their backdrops. And yeah, I was in charge of doing that, and we aimed really high, and I think we did a good job.
I worked with Markwell in 2009 on the LeBoit production of The White Earth. They did the media for that. White Earth was a really good project to work with Markwell on. It was one of those kind of boys on adventure projects we had to. What was really cool was that LeBoit, because there was a lot of historical footage and landscape footage that was required for the show, we got to do, the whole creative team, including Markwell, got to do a bit of a road trip out to Dalby, out to the Bunya Mountains. We got inside Jimbo House, we went camping, and that's how we collected the footage, which then they edited together and put in the show. The show was okay, but the road trip was excellent.
And I've worked with Markwell Presents on a project that I did over the last 2 years called Le Voix Humaine. Yeah, I rang Stephen and asked if he was interested in this project probably about almost 2 years ago now, and talked to him about having a lot of filmic content in this project, and he just jumped straight on board, and yeah, we ended up presenting the project this year at Le Bois Indies, so it's great.
And the other thing that I'll always remember about Markwell is we made what we call electronic press kits, EPKs. They're basically mini documentaries about the making of an album, and they last anything between 3 minutes and about 10 minutes, and we made over 30 of these. We're just so proud of that relationship that we had, and it was always fun. We filmed all over the country. After a while, we were informed by the head of Universal Classics and Jazz in Australia that he felt that the quality of the EPKs we were turning out with Markwell and with ABC Classics, the quality he felt was superior to Decca and Deutsche Grammophon's work, the two largest and most important and most prestigious record labels for classical music in the world. You can't ask for more than that.
Well, with Markwell, we've developed a new shows, one on Sense and Sensibility, a primary school math show. And the only way to make primary school and maths fun is by having it on a big, giant whiteboard. So we've been able to do some really great projects with them and getting it into some theatres as well. So working at the Powerhouse and the Arts Centre at the Gold Coast, while we also tour it right around Queensland.
Yeah, we've had a really great experience working with Markwell Presents, and it's a big tradition in our school, and one that we hope to continue.
Every residency Brad's worked with, there's been a moment where when I see the kids engage, or they say, I can now see how this is going to turn into something special or something I'm proud of. There's always one every residency, and that's probably why I'm always called Markwell back.
10 years ago I was a part of advanced screening. I played Brent. It was directed by Brad, and I can't thank you enough. It was such an amazing experience, especially for someone that hadn't had a lot of confidence and really wanted to act and really wanted to jump in with both feet, and to have people like Brad and Steve to nurture me it was such a great thing.
Advanced Screening was a play, it was the original play, and it was the last season of the plays that adapted over the years.
It was really great. It was really fun. It was just a really fun vibe and atmosphere, and they made it really, really accessible for us to muck around and have a good time, as well as learning a lot and being in a professional environment and developing some skills which we could carry on into later in life.
I guess it was that, I got to feel like a professional actor. We were performing at Visi Theatre and the Powerhouse, which is really cool, and got to meet all these other young people as aspiring actors, and got to have my first onstage kiss, which was fun, with Miles, who you just interviewed.
I still say today that it was one of the best experiences of my life. I had so much fun doing it, and it was the first time that I really got to experience a professional show, and there's not much out there for young people to get into it and get experience.
We worked with Stephen and Brad over about 14 weeks, and we devised a completely original script. We met after school, we workshopped with them, did improvised scenes, did lots of scene work like that, and eventually came up with our own script, which was called 3 Windows.
The show was about looking at people's lives through different perspectives. So the 3 windows was a metaphor for seeing people's lives in different ways to what you might usually look at them.
In school drama, not everyone shares the same perspective on, theatre and stuff, but being in a selective group of people who really did share the same vision was really, that was probably the best part for me.
It was just the greatest experience to meet so many young people who are just as passionate as I am about theatre.
They are so generous with their time, their expertise, and the quality of work that they produce is outstanding.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, great to work with. A lot of fun. Always open to everyone's ideas, but at the same time always clear with the direction they want to take things.
They're really passionate guys. They work really hard at what they do, and it shows, because if you can wake up every day and do something you dig, then you're going to enjoy it.
I honestly could not thank Brad and Stephen more for everything they've given me and everything they've taught me over the years. Working with Markwell Presents has been one of the most amazing experiences, and I'll always cherish and value the company.
You can't work that long if you're not good at working with people, and people clearly like working with them, and all power to them. congratulations to them. I think, you know, they haven't just survived, they've thrived.